Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Last week we started dismantling the car and we got pretty far ahead. We got a lot of like the wiring out, some of the small components out, and this week we're just gonna get right back into it, hopefully get down to a bare shell at this point, hopefully get the motor out in this one. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I'll just be bouncing around a little bit here and there, and yeah, just feel like hanging out, just follow along, and we'll get this car dismantled hopefully sooner than later, because I want to start this body work and get this show on the road. It's been almost 4 years now. This March will be May 7th will mark 4 years I started this build, but hopefully we can get it done this year. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, a lot of the stuff is already out of the car. The back axles, the back knuckles, the brakes, the rear control arms, upper and lower, same as the front and back. Now I'm messing with the differential here. There's two bolts. There's one right there, one on the opposite side. And I got this one right here, which already got loose. But yeah, that's basically all that's left in the back of the car here. All the suspension's out. So if I get the diff out, then I can probably get the subframe out. Maybe I'll leave the subframe for now. I kind of have to get the motor out next, which is kind of like the last thing. I'm almost done with this. We're getting very close. Get out of here. Ugh. Yeah, I got the front knuckles and discs, the rear axles, some shocks, SPACs and AVOs, AV1s, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, really not much left. Car is pretty much gutted. Oof. Next, we gotta get these doors off, and as you can see, the hinges have seen better days. It's been like this for a while. When I first got the car, they were actually pretty good, but over the past few years, they've gone to crap. So let's get these doors off and have a better look at these things. All right, now with the doors off the car, I want to bring them outside and start sanding them. I know there's a lot of Bondo on this car, so it's going to be Very, very dusty. I know it's snowing out here and it's cold, but I can really rip some Bondo and paint out here very quick and efficiently. Ideally, you don't want to use the angle grinder on this, like what I'm doing here, but I'm using a 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm trying not to dig in too deep. This is the quickest way for me that I think get the paint off these doors. I need to get them off better now than later, and I know these doors are gonna need a lot of work anyways, so I'm not too scared to lay into it a little bit with a flap disc on an angle grinder. I'm using 120 grit, and on the DA angle, the DA air powered handle, I'm using a 40 grit sandpaper. So I'm trying to eat that Bondo pretty quick, then go back with the angle grinder with 120 grit to really finalize it. And then when I'm done and satisfied with that, I'll go back and hit it with a DA sander with 220 grit. And I'm not in any way ready to do Bondo work or fill or anything. I just want to get basically the whole car down to bare metal. And since the door's off, I figured I'd go outside. I can set up some sore horses and get this off. Now the problem is it is cold outside, warm in the shop, so these are gonna probably catch a little bit of surface rust in the meantime, but I gotta start somewhere, and this is what I have to deal with, so it is what it is. Yeah, hell of a lot of paint on this car, so getting it all off now will save me some time in the future just to do a light sand pass again before we get some epoxy sealer on this, and then we can start the body work really. But I'm gonna be bouncing around quite a bit, so just kind of bear with me here with the car. Here are the hinges from those doors. As you can see, they're, yeah, pretty much just scrap at this point, even the bolts. But luckily, I have some new ones that I've had for a couple of years now, so these will be going there when I do my test fitting. Yeah, the doors are in, they've seen better days. Where the hinges are, there's wicked flat spots, there's dents. They literally had Bondo on top of the skin here, and then they had the hinges on top of the Bondo where the paint is, and it's just gonna crack, you know. You can't do that. It held up good for what they did, but that's not the way I'm gonna do it. I plan on doing like lead filler, especially where the hinges are. Maybe not the whole panel. There is a good dent right here on this door specifically, but if I can put some lead filler on here and on here and shape this back, I'll be happy with that. And on this quarter, we have a hole right in the door. They bonded right over that as well, so I really got to kind of cut this back and put a filler piece in there, so that should be fun too. Not looking forward for that. The other door is not so bad, but it does have a giant crease right here, which matches the crease right here. So I'm thinking that maybe hit like a sign or a table at one point. I think this was a rally car at one point, what I've been told, but then again, it is 60 years old, so who knows what it's been through. But yeah, this door is, someone did a little bit of filler work here with some, looks like some bronze filler, but no like holes through the door other than here where the old mirror was. I gotta fill those. But I think this door is in better condition than the other door. I thought this one was originally worse until I took all the paint off this and I noticed the big hole in the corner there. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best with these doors to get them back. I'm just still getting the paint off. I'm not gonna go too nuts on the inside. I am gonna sand it, but I really just want to get the paint off the whole outside and the door hinge spots. Everything inside here where the speakers go, it's all gonna be covered anyways. It will get painted. I'm just not gonna be fussy with it because it's just gonna be inside the door. You know what I mean? Now, before I can pull this engine out, I kind of want to have a relook at the hydraulic e-brake. I just kind of want to give it a little turn. It's kind of in a spot where it feels good, but I know if I go ahead and leave it as is now and I go ahead and paint the whole car, I'm not going to be satisfied. So first off, we're going to pull this access panel off and have a look at the inside. And I went ahead and I already pulled away the master cylinder. Now we have this brace bar that goes to the shifter. And all I'm going to do is drop it down just a little bit just to get a little more room in the tunnel so I can fit the new master cylinder. So I'm going to add in this little 90 in. It's going to drop it about 1.5 inches. And I'll just weld it back up real quick. It doesn't have to be super structural, because as you can see, I'm already playing with the shifter knob with it disconnected, and it's fully capable of running without it. But it's like a little steady bar. I'm going to just kind of put it back in and just do this real quick. Yeah, I don't think it has to be that perfect. The car seems to shift just fine without it, but I do want to have it back in because that's how it was intended to be from the factory. So I cut the old tabs off where the hydraulic handbrake is, and I shifted it, I don't know, maybe 30-40 degrees to the right, and we welded it on. And I had to make that hole in between just a little bit bigger. Did it pretty quickly, and still pretty good. You can't see the hole that bad with it on. I was gonna go ahead and fill it, but I'll just kind of leave it as is. It looks pretty good, and I'm happy with that. As well as the bottom of the shifter arm, I actually shortened it up quite a bit and made a new hole for the swivel here, so it's more shallow under this access panel now, which is going to give me a little more room because it's very tight in here, as you can see. Whoop, it fell down. You can kind of see like the room we're working with in there, so it does need to be shallow. And I think with a lower pivot point too, or a shorter pivot point, it's gonna give me more power when I actually yank the e-brake. So it should actually work a little bit better in theory as well. We won't know until the car is painted because I won't be able to try it, but it's kind of where I'm at. It's hard to do this one-handed, but I'll show you what I'm working with here. I got this 3/16 piece of plate here, and I already cut a circle in here. And basically what I'm gonna do is run it. I got my marks right there, but I want to run it to both sides of the tunnel, and you can see my pinky. It's that close. It's touching that bottom stabilizer bar, but that's kind of where it has to be. And then if you can kind of, I don't know, I can't do this one-handed, but that's the new master cylinder, and I have to drill some holes and weld some captive nuts in the back of this plate. It's a little off, but it's tight. I got to split the difference. I can't really make this hole a little bit bigger. It's just gonna get weaker, and I have to put a reinforcement plate on the bottom anyways. So when you pull it, it doesn't want to like bow in the middle, if that makes sense. But it's already super close to the edge. It's a tight fit. It really is. And I already kind of took off some material on the master cylinder anyways, just to give me that much more room. So it's gonna be a tight fit. But I think it's gonna work. Let me see if I can get this together for you guys. Yeah, kind of something like that, if that stays. And that's where it connects there, the quick disconnect. Yeah, you see what I'm going here for? You see what I mean? It'll work, I have faith, but it is very tight in there. I'll get this drilled out and I'll get some captive nuts on this and we'll see where we're sitting here. All right, I got the holes drilled for the master cylinder and I got it in my piece of plate and I got it in the car, not welded or nothing, but I'm just gonna show you like how close this really is. Yeah, it's that close. I just gotta find a way how I can weld this in there. I don't know if I can get the gun in there. I just need 2 good tacks, at least till I get the motor and trans out. Then I can, you know, get the car on its side and get it properly welded in there. But I think this is gonna work. I'm having a bit of a rethink here. I think I'm gonna actually weld this in after I pull the motor and trans. I think I can just put the plate back on and put the car on its side and get better access to weld this in. Right. I could kind of weld this in blindly and it'd probably work, but I think doing it with the plate on and welding it from underneath, I can really get this to be as straight as possible before I weld it in. So I think it's time to take the motor and trans out. As long as I suck this up as high as I can against the plate, which basically, it could be touching it for all I care. It'll give me maximum room between master cylinder and the trans. So I think that's the way it's gotta go. So yeah, let's get this motor and trans out.